Okay, so let's get started. If anybody else joins in, that'd be fine. I think I met everybody already, so it's so nice to be together again. Again, I'm Laura Zervos, registered dietitian. I also have a culinary background, and I really enjoy doing these programs with you. It's so much fun to get together to talk not only about what we're making, but even some of the health benefits of some of the foods that we're using, and any sidebar little questions or comments that anybody has. I appreciate those. I welcome them if you have any questions about anything along the way. And today I'm happy to do Cinco de March. And I like how Vaso put it out there. So today's a good day to practice. So when we do have Cinco de Mayo, you'll be ready and you could show off some of your skills. And today's recipes are very easy. I don't know if you had a chance to read through them. They're easy, but they're also layered. So you'll see that there's a lot of different spices. You should have had probably most of them in your pantry, except for obviously the fresh ones, like the cilantro and maybe some scallions or a fresh jalapeno. But all these things, chili powder, what were some of the other ones? Cumin. I don't know if you have cumin a lot in your cooking, but a lot of things that most people have. So let's get started. Since we're going to do enchiladas, we're making our own sauce for the enchiladas. So we're going to try to make it healthy. So let's get started with our sauce. So that could be cooking. So by the time we're going to assemble our enchiladas, it'll be ready. All right. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to what's called make a roux. And I'm sure you've all done this before. A roux is equal part, it's a thickening agent, correct? And it's equal parts fat and flour, usually by weight. Our particular recipe is 2 tablespoons avocado oil and 2 tablespoons of flour. So if you want to go ahead and add that to your saucepan, your oil, and heat that up, and then we'll add our flour. And I don't know, it said I put on the recipe that you could use either olive oil or avocado oil. And anybody raise their hand if they've used avocado oil before? No? Okay, great. So avocado oil also has a really nice flavor like olive oil. And that's the one that I chose to use today also. And what I like about Sorry about that. What I like about avocado oil and olive oil is they really have a very close profile. They're both high in monounsaturated fats. The main fatty acid in them is oleic acid. They both are about 70% oleic acid, and it's pronounced oleic, but it's O-L-E-I-C, I believe. So a really good fat to use, really good healthy part of our diet. It's supposed to be excellent at an antioxidant. It has a lot of antioxidant qualities that clean up free radicals, really important in our health. So that's why I chose the avocado today, just to do a little something different. So let me get my flour here. And we're going to add our 2 tablespoons of flour to the oil, and then we'll stir that. I am use a wooden spoon when I'm doing my roux, and then I usually switch over to a whisk, whatever you like to use at that time. And the other important thing to know about making a roux is you can't rush it. I see a lot of recipes that they'll say melt the butter or oil or clarified butter. Clarified butter is going to give you the best roux. This roux is nice for this particular one. It's chose for its flavor. And it's not, this sauce that we're making is not terribly thick. But the thing about a roux is you have to cook it long enough. And if you don't cook it long enough, it's not going to have the full thickening potential. So I'm just stirring mine here a little bit, and then I will put it back on the flame here. And if you're using the avocado oil, if anybody else is, did you notice the color? Like a nice dark green versus what you get with an olive oil. So we'll just give that a little bit, and that's over medium-high heat. And just give it a little bit of a stir. And we'll just let that bubble a little bit while we get our next ingredients together. We're also going to add, let's see, we'll just do that. It says we're going to add our spices next. And let me see, my spices are right over here.
Laura, was the recipe, is that correct? A 1/4 cup of chili powder?
Yes, yes,
Okay.
yes. I know that's a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, let me grab mine over here. Yeah, I did a double take too when I was doing that. So I put all of my spices together and I'm just going to add them straight in and give them a stir. And as you can see, it's making a nice little paste. And then it's starting to get a little bit, I don't know about yours, but mine's getting like a little bit thick on the bottom like that. And keep giving it a stir. It almost looks like, it kind of resembles like a really thin pesto sauce. And now I'm going to go ahead and add the stock to that. I'm using chicken today. You could use chicken or vegetable. And we're just going to, I'm going to switch to a whisk. Just so I don't have any lumps in here. And I'll just give it a stir and I'm going to turn it down a little bit. Really, the trick too with it, making any sauce, like I was saying before, you have to cook the roux long enough. The second part is that mixture has to come to a boil first before, if you don't let it come to a boil, it's not going to get that full thickening potential that you should have. So it always has to come, and when I mean boil, I mean if you see 2 bubbles, 2 full bubbles, not a little bit more than a simmer, not a big rolling boil, just maybe 2 bubbles, you've met it, then you could take it down to a simmer. So now I'm just letting mine come up to that boil, to that part right there. And then we'll just let that go. Okay. Right there on the counter. So next what we're going to do is we're going to just come back to the enchiladas. We're going to let that sauce cook a little bit. So when we're ready for it, it's ready for us too. So the next thing we're going to do is make the spice blend for our shrimp tacos. And I think that's what really gives the shrimp tacos that fantastic flavor. So let me just pull out my preps for that. And I did put my spices together. My spices are, I have right here, I have the chili powder, the cumin, paprika, dried oregano, and garlic powder. And I do have salt and pepper to taste, but we're just going to put it into everything into a bowl. So just throw it all in there. Check on my sauce. And this is all we're going to do with this. We could stir it up with a spoon. Let me get my spoon right here. We could just kind of stir it up a little bit so it's well blended evenly. So it looks mostly red with some specks of green in there. If you can see that. So it's just a nice little even consistency. And we will come back to our shrimp tacos. And we will move along with our enchiladas. So what we're going to do first with our enchiladas, and I hope, I think I mentioned at the beginning of the program to heat our oven to 350. So we have our oven preheating. And what we're going to do is start sauteing our onions. So, and my sauce has come to a boil, so I'm going to turn it down to like a medium-low heat, uncovered, always uncovered. Give it another little stir here. And mine is nice and thick. So I'm going to actually move it to the back and saute my onions here. Any questions, Tracy? You good? Okay. All right. So we're going to start again with our oil in this pan. It's about
Avocado or olive oil?
yeah. I'm using avocado.
Okay. Tablespoons. Did you ask that?
And I'm just going to let that heat a little bit up, and then I'm going to add my onions and chicken to that. We'll do our onions first. So I'm just getting ready.
What is she doing?
Laura, have you added your chicken yet, or are you just sauteing the onions?
I've heated up my oil. I'm going to do my onions right now.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm putting my onions in the pan right now. And I'm also, when I'm back there, I'm sorry about the camera. I'm also giving my my enchilada sauce a little stir too, just to keep that moving along, make sure it's not sticking. Is everybody thickening up real nice? Starting to? Good, good. I love the thumbs up. No, not yet. Keep it going. Keep it going. It'll be fine.
Let's say something. Put me on off mute.
You're off mute.
Okay.
Oh.
You're
Laura,
fine. Yes.
our roux was nice and thick and then it started thinning again.
Oh. And where
We
are
cook
you?
it too long?
Did you add your stock?
Yes.
Oh, no, you should be fine.
Okay.
You should be fine. Let it keep going. It'll thicken up as soon as it comes to a simmer, and then it'll start, like I said, it'll start to come to a little bit of a boil.
I think
It's not,
Laura,
and it's not thick like a bechamel or anything like that. It's just
Okay.
what would be the good consistency. I'll show it to you as soon as I can.
Okay.
You can just set that over there.
It's actually, it's really nice. It's nice and shiny, which is a great quality of a sauce. And here's mine, just to.
Oh, okay. That looks good.
Oh, it's not.
Yeah.
A little bit thicker, a little bit, not, it's more like a gravy almost.
Is it gravy?
It's getting there. It's
It's
getting there.
gonna be fine, Mom. It just has to simmer.
Okay, all right, so I'm just sauteing the onions. And we'll just let them go for a few minutes. Because you do want them to get a little bit tender, and we are going to put our chicken in there, but I think the onions need to cook a little bit by themselves. I'll get my chicken here, get that ready. Does anybody make enchiladas already? Good, good. Anybody else using avocado oil? Were you surprised at how the difference in the viscosity is between the avocado oil is between the olive oil? It's like so much thicker, and it sticks to the spoon, you know, a lot more so than olive oil. And that's just one of the qualities is that viscosity. But that viscosity is what's given it that nice shine too. And I think it gives it a lot more body than an olive oil would. So now I'm going to add my chicken. So I have my diced chicken in here, and I'm going to add it to my onions that we're cooking. And I'm going to just keep stirring it till it gets nice and well cooked. And I'm just stirring my chicken. We're just going to let that go for a couple of minutes. Any questions? Is everybody good? Just put that aside. You could get your tortillas. We're going to start making an assembly line here pretty soon with the enchilada sauce and the chicken. And we're also going to add our beans. Oh, we also need to add our green chilies too when we add the chicken.
Laura, what kind of heat do you recommend in cooking?
I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
Sorry, what kind of heat do you recommend for cooking the chicken? More of a medium high? Or
Medium high, yes, sorry about that.
That's okay.
And my enchilada sauce is done, so I'm going to take it off the heat. So, but yours may not be, and I will show you what mine looks like on the spoon here. So it's a little bit, whoops. So it's thicker than just plain stock. It's not like a bechamel again, and you could see the but it does stick to your spoon. I'm just going to set that here next to us on the counter. Ready. One, I think we said 8, correct? 8 for this one, and we need 12 for the other one. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And your chicken, if you diced it, it should be well onto being opaque now and cook through. If you keep stirring, it should be good now. I'm just going to check on mine.
We're still working on that. I don't think our high heat is your high heat.
Okay, no problem. Take your time. Mine looks like it needs probably another minute also. Mine looks pretty good there. Okay, so let's get our assembly line. I'll wait for anybody that their chicken or their sauce is not ready. So let's see here. We're gonna get we still have to get our beans ready too. Kelly's. Once everybody's chicken is done cooking, let me know, and then we could add the beans. Okay, good. Whenever you're ready.
What did you say after the chicken's done?
Whenever your chicken is done, let me know and we'll add the beans. We're gonna add the bean
Okay.
to the chicken mixture.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
All the beans, the whole can, we're getting ready to add.
Yes, yep, we're
Okay.
gonna add, and you should, they need to be drained and rinsed.
Drained and
And
rinsed.
rice.
Drained and rinsed. And you just want to stir them in real gently.
Okay.
And no rush, we're still good on time. Let me just show you what mine looks like here. Real gently, we're just gonna stir them in because we don't want to mash up our beans. We just want to get them so it looks like our little chicken mixture is, speckled with beans. And you could leave the beans out if somebody doesn't like them, or, if somebody has an allergy or you don't want the beans, but they do add a nice texture. Of course, they're what really adds the fiber to this recipe. And I know every time I'm always talking about fiber, fiber, fiber. The best sources of fiber are your fruits and vegetables, and definitely the legume family. Avocados, outstanding source of fiber. The recommendation somewhere between 25 and 35 grams per day. Women are on that lower end of 25, men should be around 25. It's really hard to get if you're not making an effort to get it. And of course, if you find you're not getting it, you could always, it's an easy fix to supplement. So just something to keep in mind on that point. Make our little line. Let's see, let's get our tortillas ready. And our sauce. Chicken and
Tracy,
cheese. Yeah, so is everybody good?
Tracy,
She's muted.
Tracy.
Hold on, she's unmuting, I think.
Okay, sorry,
I saw your husband licking his fingers. What's he eating?
chicken. He was making sure it was done.
Okay. That's cheating.
While we're waiting for
We
this,
don't want it to be undercooked.
while we're waiting, I'm just gonna spray my pan with some Pam. And you could use olive oil, you could use avocado oil, whatever you like. I just find that Pam is convenient. My 13x9 pan. And you might want to have like little space here. I'm gonna actually put my cutting board here so you could see me work, and I will fix it. Okay, so fortunately, can't see it. So I have my sauce and sauce, tortillas, and chicken all in a row here. And then I have my pan to the right of me. So, and my cheese too in a cup. So you want to have all of those things, those four things together: your sauce, your tortilla shells, your chicken, and your cheese. And I'm going to move the camera off my face and onto the enchiladas. All right, good. Okay, so I'm going to Got enchiladas next to me. Okay, so what we're gonna do is everybody ready to this point now? Everybody's chicken's done. You have your sauces done. Does everybody have their little assembly line made? Well, I could wait for everybody. Good. Got a yes from Vaso, a yes from Tracy, and Deb and the gang. Oh, everybody, great, fantastic. Okay, I'm gonna move my camera to the enchiladas. So I just put one of my enchiladas on my cutting board. And what I'm gonna do first is I'm going to cover it with sauce. So just take probably a spoonful of your sauce, just ladle it on, and you just wanna cover it almost to the edge. Okay, and then after we do that, we're gonna add a spoonful of the chicken mixture in the middle of it. This. Okay, and then after that, we'll do the chicken mixture, and then we'll sprinkle. It says about, the recipe says about a 1/3 cup of cheese. So I'm just gonna go like that, right down the middle. And then we're going to roll, and you can see like the cheese is already starting to melt up. Now, we're not going to roll this like a burrito when we're gonna close it. You know how you fold in the ends? We're just gonna cover it just like this, just like that. And that sauce is actually gonna act like a little bit of a glue. So it kind of holds it together. So that's all I'm doing is folding it over, and this is what it should look like when you put it into your pan. Can everybody see that? Everybody look good? And we're just gonna set it right in our 9 by 13 pan, and we're just going to, I have it right here like this way, because we're just going to line them up just like this. Okay, we're ready for the next one. And wipe off that sauce so I don't get my next one dirty. Lay your tortilla down. Spread your sauce on. And then we'll put a little bit more sauce actually. Okay. And then we'll put a row of chicken down the middle.
What are you supposed to make?
Laura,
Yes,
is it steamed down in the pan?
I have my seam up actually,
Okay,
Perfect.
but I'm going to, and I'm going to put them in there nice and tight. So
right,
the neighbor is gonna, hold that seam down.
okay.
Caitlin,
What?
in the right way.
Grab that.
Yes, she said.
That, and then I have the
No.
cheese, and then roll. Then I kind of tuck this one when I roll it a little bit. And then I said that the enchilada sauce kind of acts as a little bit of a glue, and it puts
Oh, she
it
Down. You just flop it over. Not rolling.
However you want to make them roll together. I mean, the chicken hunting.
And I really wasn't sure who asked that about the seams, but because I have my camera here on the cutting board, but you just want to know when you're pushing them and they really hold each other nice and tight. I think that's this pan, 13 by 9 is well suited for this. They touch the short sides of the pan and they hold each other. If you have them in there nice and tightly, they keep each other in line, so to speak. And close up.
Are you planning on making? Okay.
Over. And again, and then just use that as your glue. And then just, when I'm putting mine in my pan, I'm kind of, I'm, making them nice little neighbors there, pushing them together.
You're gonna have to be judicious. Because you've only got 3 left and you're a little over halfway home.
Yeah, you have to try to pace yourself here with the chicken mixture and your cheese and your sauce.
Yeah, that's okay.
You made one less, or you have enough for one. I tried to just be consistent because, and I don't know that I provided the nutrition information on these, but I will. I'll make sure I get that to you. But it's based on, you know, making them uniform. One, two, three. I have 5. I have 3 more to go.
You want me to scrape stuff together?
But this would also be nice with shrimp. This was Mexican blend cheese. You could use other cheeses. But I would make sure that it's like a finely shredded cheese that makes it nice inside. It makes it nice and stringy when you go to eat it. Other one. And then I've seen some even beans, and you could do beans with scallions and other vegetables. You know, just go make bean the main ingredient if you want to make these vegetarian. If you wanted to make them vegetarian, you could do beans, you could do onions, and you would use vegetable stock. And what else could we? And I would still use the green chilies. They're fairly easy to make, and this is something too that could be made ahead of time. It could be made in the morning, and it's something you could bake when you get home for dinner. Or if you don't want to, they freeze very nicely. I would bake them first and then put them in the freezer. And whenever you go to reheat them, I would put them directly in the freezer. I wouldn't defrost it first. I'd go directly to the oven, I mean to say, directly from the oven to the freezer. We're going to cook these today uncovered. When you do that second reheating, I would definitely recommend covering with some foil to keep them from getting, because they're going to get a little bit crisp today. That's the whole point. They get a little bit crisp on the end. And in addition to the flour tortillas, we could have also used a corn tortilla today. They give you a little bit coarser of a product, but I think the flour ones stay together a little bit nicer, and they don't get as crisp if you have anybody that's objects
Pretty good.
objects to that. Yeah, these ones look
I think it worked pretty good.
okay. All right, now it says we're going to put the rest of our sauce on the enchiladas, and then we're going to put the cheese. So I'm going to go ahead, and I still have a good bit of sauce left, and let me show you what my pan looks like. My little soldiers in there all nestled into each other, so they look good. They look nice and uniform. And this is nice too, because really one of these I think makes a nice serving, and I think that's pretty. You could feed a nice crowd with these. You have your family plus a few guests. And I'm, instead of just dumping it all, I just wanted to ladle it just so I got it even throughout the pan.
Okay.
How's everybody doing? Thumbs up?
We
Oh,
poured.
excellent.
Do we use all of the sauce?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
Yeah, I did all my tortillas and I spooned some over, and I'm out.
These
So-
are just pork,
This is what mine looks like right now. And we could put it says, any additional cheese. I'm just gonna put that right on top.
Additional cheese on top.
Yep.
Yeah, it's right there,
All
baby.
that is-
Okay.
Cheese it.
Oh, hers are beautiful. Tracy, yours are beautiful.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, you're good.
Just wanted to add a little bit more cheese to mine too.
What time?
I'm just adding a Mexican blend. I could have gone with, a cheddar,
How long do we have them in the oven for?
I think about 20 minutes ought to do it. And the
Okay.
reason I'm wanted to be generous with the sauce and the cheese, if you don't, they're going to get crispy and a little bit hard. This will keep them a little bit tender for you. And you might have a few crispy edges, which is fine. But for the most part, you'll have a nice product. They look good, Deb? Do yours look good? Beautiful.
Here we go.
They're beautiful.
Ooh, almost poured them out.
That's okay.
Okay.
So I'm going to go ahead and put mine in the oven real quickly here.
Where's the dishwasher man? Covered, we're just toss them in, right?
No, I think.
Oh, I can't believe you dumped out the sauce.
Sorry.
Okay. All right. Is everybody caught up? Are we all around the same spot?
Yep.
Okay, excellent. Next, we're going to make our Pico de Gallo. And that will be put on the tacos, the enchiladas, whatever you want. And did everybody go ahead and dice their tomatoes and everything ahead of time? Excellent. So good. So great. Okay. So this is so easy and it's so delicious. Has anybody made their own before? And this is really good in the summertime when you have fresh tomatoes. So what we're going to do is we're just going to put our tomatoes in. And red onion. Now it says a half red onion. And that was a lot for me. So I don't think I'm going to use the whole thing. Probably going to use, not because you could always add more. I'm going to use,
In big enough to take.
because my onion was pretty large. Let me put this down here so you can see what I'm doing. And I also have the fresh cilantro. And cumin, garlic, jalapeno. And the jalapeno, that's another one. You may want to add some of it and then taste it and then add the rest just to see. And I also have my lime juice. And I'll just give that a stir. And you want to see what it looks like. You know, if it looks like there's not enough, you know, it's so red and it doesn't have enough of the contrast with the red onion, the purple onion, you could always do that. But it should be a real nice color here. Real nice red and green, purple. And then salt and pepper to taste. I would say I'm going to put probably a half teaspoon of salt in mine. Just to bring out the juices of the tomato too. That'll really help there.
You're happy with it. I mean, to me, it looks pretty good.
Does anybody not like theirs isn't turning out or something?
No, I think we're good. I think it looks fine.
Beautiful, beautiful. Love it.
I didn't know how much cilantro you wanted.
And it smells delicious too. And this will last a couple of days in the refrigerator. I mean, we'll probably use a good bit today on everything that we've made. And I think I cut back on, I did 5 tomatoes because my Romas were huge from the grocery store today. Sometimes they're, you know, small.
You could add if you wanted tomato, but.
All right.
Put a little more chunk to it, I guess.
I'm just going to set this aside and
Jalapeno's fine.
We need to keep it in the refrigerator or not?
you can. It'll stay well, it'll get nice in the refrigerator. Especially if we're having it, you know, if we were having it for dinner today, which, you know, we probably are, right? I would have made this in the morning and let it sit in the refrigerator all day so it all gets a chance to be together. Since we're having it right now, I think letting it sit out is kind of nice too at room temperature, so it could be together.
Okay.
You know, but if you prefer yours cold, you could do that too.
Okay.
Yeah. And I'm just gonna set my prep aside and I'll get. Has anybody made mango salsa before? So good. I like to put it, you know, you always see it on the fish tacos, and I thought it would be a nice addition to our shrimp tacos, either the pico or that. But if you happen to be making fish this week and you have some left over, even if it's not a taco, it's so good on fish. It just adds a whole nother dimension of flavor. And it's some unlikely ingredients together. The mango with the cilantro, with the onion and the jalapeno, it's just, oh, so good. And lime juice, I think all of those together just make it a really nice product. I think everybody enjoys this one. So I'm just going to adjust my camera again. I diced my mango. Does everybody already have their mango diced? Okay, all right. So sometimes I use the mango cutter where it just pushes down. Sometimes I peel it and then slice as much as I can off and dice it. Sometimes I will cut. I've also cut a chunk off at times. The week before I got wonderful mangoes. This week they were so hard. But sometimes I will cut a piece off like this as much as I can. And this one, of course, is not cooperating. It's really hard. Let's see. I'll just take it off and then I will hold it in my hand and I score it like a checkerboard. Made it to go down. Again, this one is so hard. Not gonna do real nicely, but then you should be able to pull it out and it'll come out real nicely for you. If it's a nice ripe mango, it will. I have one nice one and the other two just did not cooperate with me today, but they should still be nice with the lime and everything. The lime will help soften it up. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna add all of our ingredients together. Again, your onion, you may want to add some of the onion and not all of the onion until you see how it looks. Another spoon here. And it's just, I just like it to look uniform. Of course, you have the most, you know, yellow is the dominant color here. But I like to see some of the, you know, some of the other things as well. So I'm just going to, you could always add more, you can't take it away. So I always like to be a little conservative and add more onion if I have to. So that looks about right to me. And then jalapeno, again, that's to taste. I happen to like mine a little bit spicy, so I'm going to add the whole thing. Yeah. And cilantro, I think cilantro is probably one of my favorite herbs.
You want me to do the lime?
Laura, did you say you put jalapeno in the mango salsa?
Well, I didn't know if you
I
wanted to
did.
do lime.
I did, and you know what? That was an optional, but you don't have to, but I just thought for some extra spiciness.
Yeah, that would be good. Okay.
Yeah. So I stirred that in, and I'm also going to stir in the lime juice. And you could salt and pepper this too, if you like. I'll wait till the end here when we're going to taste everything. And I actually am going to add a little bit more onion to mine. Just looked like I didn't have enough. But it's a nice colorful dinner. And the other thing that I will have Vaso email to you later is a recipe for Spanish rice. And it's just time wouldn't just be too much to do in an hour, but I thought it would go nicely. I thought it'd be a nice accompaniment with the shrimp tacos to have something like that. So you had additional starch there, even though you have the tortilla. I thought it might be nice to have as another side dish. So I'm just gonna get this off of here and I will set this aside. And now we're ready for our shrimp tacos. And we are still, take a peek at my enchiladas real quick. They look great. So I'm happy about that. All right, so we have already prepared our rub. So you want to go get your rub again.
Rub.
And I'm just going to, you could do it either way. I have my shrimp here peeled and deveined, and I think I am just going to have I have my spice bowl, and I'm just going to add a couple of handfuls at a time. And be careful. I peeled my shrimp right before class, so there's some water in the bottom. Don't get that water in there. You want your shrimp to be dry. If you can, you could even blot it with a towel so it doesn't get soggy for you. So, and then I'll just give that. I'm going to get my other. And I'm just going to, you could use your hands, you could use a spoon, and you're just going to get them all coated. And you could do this with chicken thighs. You could do it with chicken breasts. You could do it with strips of meat, anything. It's a really nice rub, and it lends itself to anything. But I think it does really well on this shrimp. It gives it a lot of flavor. And you could do this if you're making fish tacos. You could cut pieces of cod, little like 1-inch cubes, and put it in there. That would be nice. Okay, so, and that's what's nice about a dry rub. I have all of mine, my shrimp is coated. There's no rub on the bottom of the pan. So we're ready to go, and I'm going to get my large skillet and add I believe this one called for canola oil. Add my canola oil. I believe that was 2 tablespoons. Any questions about any of the ingredients or anything we're doing today? Everybody good? And I like to use, I always like to get Gulf shrimp. They're wild caught most often, and I think they have a unique taste to them versus some of the white shrimp. White shrimp, they all have the same nutritional value, just these ones seem to have a different texture and a really nice taste. So I'm going to let that oil heat up for just another second. Then I'm going to stir them in there, and the shrimp aren't going to take it very long at all. We're going to place them in the skillet, and I would try to make sure you coat the whole pan with oil and make sure we get our shrimp there in a single layer so they could cook evenly. And we're just going to keep stirring it and get it done that way. And let me get a plate here so we have to put my shrimp in. But really, if you think about it, the enchiladas really can be made, even if you made the meat mixture or some of those, or the enchilada sauce the day before, that enchilada sauce you could put in a mason jar and keep in your refrigerator for a few days. The chicken mixture could be made in the morning, and then when you get home from work, or if you wanted a quick meal, you could just assemble them really quickly. If you have everything on hand, of course. So I'm going to go ahead and add my shrimp to my skillet. And it's sizzling, so I know that it's nice and hot.
You want, okay, well, I didn't know if you wanted more on or less.
No, I didn't make them.
And I'm going to keep stirring my shrimp so I could get it to turn over so it cooks nice and even. Even though we did our rub on it, you should be able to tell when it goes from that fleshy to opaque stage, you know it's done. If you're uncomfortable, or if you're unsure of when it's done, you could always make a little cut into it. But usually if it's opaque, it shouldn't take too long. And again, try to keep them into a single layer so everybody gets the even heat and they cook at the same time. Otherwise, you'll see some, changing, getting opaque while others are still fleshy. And another thing, when they're cooking, sometimes you'll see they begin to curl up too. And a lot of people, they might not add shrimp to their diet because it used to be, oh, it's high in cholesterol, but actually shrimp is very low in saturated fat. So actually, and it's saturated fat in our diet that is the one that causes us to have a higher cholesterol. And, cholesterol containing foods are important for us. Transport of fat soluble vitamins, our hair, skin, and nails, hormone transport. So they shouldn't be limited too much. And it used to be too that you would have a cholesterol lab value taken. If it was 2 to 240, they would say you're borderline. And now if it's above 200, they're starting to, okay, let's make some dietary changes. Let's have, let's get onto the Mediterranean plan where you're having more, more fish, more legumes, more fresh fruits and vegetables, nuts, healthy fats like avocado oil, olive oil, olives. And at the very top of that Mediterranean, eating what you should be doing the least amount of time is processed foods and the red meats too.
Yeah.
Here we are. I'm just going to keep stirring these around. Mine are already starting to curl up and get a little opaque, not 100% opaque.
You want me to be doing something?
But this reminds me of the shrimp that you see out a lot of the bang bang shrimp. I think some people have, and it has a lot of breading on it. And this is not going to have breading, of course, but it's going to have a lot of flavor. It's going to be a little bit spicy, but not overwhelming. And I think it makes a really nice deal. And this could be eaten as a part of our shrimp taco that we're doing today. You could have these on a salad. There's a lot of uses for these. So it's a nice little thing to make. And like I said, with the chicken thighs or chicken breast, and even flank steak would be nice on this too. To put this like a flank steak rub and let that sit all day and then cook it. And mine look like they are almost done. So I'm gonna just take a peek at my enchiladas. Yeah, mine are all curled up nice and tight. They are done.
Big thumb. The Tom Brady diet. Avocado, everything.
Let them go another minute. They're nice. It's bubbly. Everything is nice and bubbly. I'm just going to let it go another minute so the shells get a little bit crisp, the ones that are not covered. And my shrimp is done, so I'm going to go ahead and put that on a plate.
Nice. You're not planning on plating. We're just going to put it right in the fridge.
Yeah.
It didn't seem like when we look at the spices in the pot, it was like, it wasn't a whole lot, but you could see how much it is on the shrimp. It really goes a long way. This would also, I said that it would be nice on fish tacos, like a cod, or I've even seen sometimes, what is the other fish that they use to make fish tacos? Cod. I've seen mahi. It would also be very nice on a pork too, like like the kind that you're like the Boston butt where you usually make your pulled pork from. It would be a nice rub there too. Just make sure this is good here. Okay, and then I will. And then I'm probably going to take out my enchiladas. So whoops, I got one runaway there. But there's my shrimp, and I'll assemble everything here, and we have just enough time to talk about mojitos and make drinks. Paso, did you get to see the shrimp? Good. So, okay, so we could actually assemble one of those too. Does everybody have everything done? The shrimp is done? Okay, great. I'm going to, I just put my enchiladas in for another minute and the timer just went off. So let me get those out so they don't get ahead of me. And then we can assemble it.
You want the mango for the shrimp?
So I'm taking my enchiladas out. They're bubbling. The cheese is bubbling. The sauce is bubbling. They look really nice.
Yeah, wooden presentation.
We have one of them work.
And let me get my little shells so we could make.
We got them on work.
So I have the enchiladas, the shrimp tacos, our mango salsa, and our Pico de Gallo. And I'm just going to grab a small shell here. And this would be a nice time to have those little, the little carriers or the little holders for your tacos. Going to put a couple of shrimp in the bottom.
Boom, they're golden.
Then I'm going to go ahead and do the mango salsa because I think that's going to go really nicely. Give it a nice little stir again. And it's nice too because the shrimp are a little bit spicy. The mango salsa is nice and cool and refreshing. We could also take some chopped scallions and put it on here. Cheese, any kind of toppings that we want. So I have one right here. We have our taco. I'll just set it right next to the shrimp. And our enchiladas and all of our sauces. Did everybody take their enchiladas out? Okay,
Yes.
shrimp is all done. All right, well, we're ready for a mojito, I guess. So we'll do that. We'll make our mojito, and then by that time, everything should be cool so we could give it a taste test. So let me just move these aside and get my mojito prep over here.
Nice.
Okay, now. Just move this down here.
Mhm.
Okay, so mojitos are really easy. Let me move my enchiladas so I can put the prep right in front of you. Just 5 ingredients in the mojito. The big thing is they're always made with rum. They're going to have mint, the limes, and the club soda. And what am I missing?
Simple syrup.
What was that last one?
The simple syrup.
The simple syrup, yeah. And you could, I was going to make simple syrup, and that's very easy to do. You could also buy it. You can get it at the store, at Giant Eagle or any kind. I think the liquor stores have them as well. Or if you want, if I'm making a big batch, what I do is I make a simple syrup with just equal parts of sugar and water, bring it to a boil, stick it in the refrigerator, let it cool, and then it's ready to go. But today we're going to use this syrup. So what first we're going to do is we get a shaker cup. Yeah. First thing we're going to do is muddle the mint. And this is the most important, and this is the one that sometimes people don't get right. And it should be, we're just trying to release the oils from the mint. And we don't want to pulverize it. You don't want to, because then it could become bitter. Mint is also in the basil family. So if you don't treat them right, they're going to get bitter real quickly. So we're just going to add a couple of mint leaves to the bottom of our shaker cup. And unfortunately, my mint in my garden is not up, so I had to buy it at the grocery store, and I have little leaves. They should still taste good. The ones that I have here are a little bit bigger. Some of these are okay. But we just want to release the oils out of here. So we're just going to gently, we're not going to, you know, attack it. We're just going to be very gentle just to release the oils. There shouldn't be bits and pieces in here, because also you could, you know, get bits and pieces stuck. So we're just going to give it a little bit of turn. I have my pestle. I'm just going to give it a few turns. And this is really going to release the flavor. So I'm not, and I'll show you what it looks like in here. It really just looks like, you know, oh, and I could smell it. If you're doing it, you know, you should be able to, it should just come right up out of the shaker cup for you. So this is what mine looks like. I don't even know if you could see it with the lighting here, but they're just at the bottom, and you could smell all of the, mint coming right up. And I'll get everything ready here. So we're going to take 4 ounces of white rum and also our lime juice, 2 ounces of lime juice. I'm going to pour that in first. And then I'm going to do 4 ounces of white rum. And this could be adjusted too. If you find that this could be, you could make a virgin recipe with this, just omit the rum. And it's still going to give you a nice flavor, the lime and the mint together along with the soda. And we are also going to add some ice. So let me just grab some ice and I'll be right back. Add a little bit of ice to my shaker, probably about. I just want to get it cold. So, and we don't add the club soda. That would, we're just adding the alcohol, the lime juice, and the simple syrup. I added my simple syrup. That's the only one I didn't have in there. And 1 ounce.
No. That's what I was.
And we're just going to give this a shake, get it nice and cold. And mine has the strainer built right in the lid. So I will pour it. I have some nice glasses. I need to add a little bit. I didn't know how much to get there, so we'll just make these even. So about even, and then we're just going to give it, it says 8 ounces of club soda. I don't know that you need quite that much. What I'm going to do first is add a few more ice cubes to each. Let's see what I can here. About, 4 to 5 ice cubes a piece. Mine's stuck together here. And then I'm going to add my club soda. And let's see here. I'm just going to use my measuring cup so I could tell you, but I don't. And I was saying 8 ounces. It's about 4 for each cup. So a half cup in each. And that gets you right there. And then I have some extra lime wedges. Let's give it a little extra there. And then you could always add just, a mint sprig or something to make it a little festive. How's that taste? Good. You could also use, if you wanted a little bit sweeter, you could always add more simple syrup. You could also add sugar to it. I just find that the simple syrup that you make or that you buy at the store blends nice and easily, so you don't get something that's gritty. So I think that makes it a little bit nice. I think I actually like mine a little bit sweeter than it turned out to be, but I think it's good. So I'm just gonna set those aside. And did anybody taste anything yet? I'm gonna get the enchiladas. Is it
We need-
okay? Let's see. Taste my- And get this on paper, maybe. Get a big spatula over here.
Mhm.
Okay. So just get these out of here. 1.5. And really, I mean, half one of these is a pretty generous serving. Okay. And then you could top with a little sour cream.
Okay.
And then again, you know, of course, I like to put scallions on everything because they're so colorful and flavor. And I'm also going to put a little bit of pico on the side here. You know, so every time I take a bite, I could have a little bit of that. And then I have my and a little salsa here. If I need any extra. Go, and then we have our drink. So let me just take a little bite of mine.
Very good.
Oh, great. What is that you're having? The taco or the?
The taco.
Well, the enchilada is good too. And you could see how easy it is to make the homemade enchilada sauce. It's so easy. Why buy store-bought? So we know all the ingredients that are in here. There's no funny business. You could put it in a mason jar, put it in the refrigerator. It'll keep probably for, I would say, a good 5 days. And you could make, like I said, you could even try to do shrimp in there. And you don't have to do chicken. You could always just leave them vegetarian. But I think too, it's nice with a little bit of sour cream, like cools it off, and then you have the crunch of the scallions. And the other thing that I always like to do, since I love cilantro, I go a little cilantro crazy. I like to put it on everything, but that gives it a nice bite too, if you enjoyed that taste. Did anybody try a shrimp? How was the shrimp?
Shrimp are
My
good.
husband said it's all delicious and they look beautiful.
Oh, great.
I
Good.
like all the colors.
I do too. It's perfect for this time of year in May when when you do have your own Cinco de Mayo party or just some friends over. Yeah, I think so. I'm going to try the shrimp too, just to make sure. Yeah, I think they're really just a nice dimension of flavor on there. All things that we should have at home. Did anybody try the mango salsa?
Very good.
Really nice, huh?
With the mango salsa with the shrimp, it's excellent.
Delicious.
Yes, because like the shrimp has, it's pretty complex and a little bit spicy, and then the mango with the cilantro, it just all comes together there. And did anybody try the pico? Good too.
Yeah.
Nice too. And like I said, in summertime, that'll be really, when you have some fresh tomatoes instead of Pennsylvania store-bought tomatoes, they'll be really nice and they'll be juicy. Any questions about anything that we talked about today? All avocado oil, olive oil, any nutrition questions that I could ask you or cooking?
Yeah, very good.
Good. Also, how do you ladies like it?
Very good.
Definitely gonna change it up with the different proteins and keep experimenting.
I can't hear you.
So we're gonna definitely keep trying with shrimp and chicken and
Yeah,
Switch up the proteins.
absolutely, absolutely. Or, and I also make it vegetarian if you would like to, you know? Yeah.
Split it
So
half.
yummy. So what do we want to do in 2 months? Deborah, you got another topic?
Maybe Stacy or Tracy should pick the next one.
Don't put me on the spot. I'll think about it, but
It'll be May, so
I don't know, maybe like something Eastern or like Europe.
Saturday morning
Oh.
brunch.
Polish.
Or,
Oh,
or Chinese. Ooh.
right. I don't know who said brunch, but that sounded
I
delicious.
said that. I was thinking Mother's Day, like a Saturday morning.
Yeah.
brunch.
I think that'd be
I
great.
think brunch
Great
sounds
idea.
excellent. Is there, I'll come up with the menu, but is there anything that anybody wants in particular? If we were doing a brunch?
Pardon me?
As long as
Is
there's
it-
mimosas with it.
Of course, of course,
Yeah.
of course. I have a really nice French toast recipe that I make and
Do we not use our avocado?
nice. Okay, I'll keep thinking, but if anybody, you know, if there's something you'd like to see or something you've wanted to try or something you've had somewhere else, I'd be happy to, you know, add that to our program.
Maybe like a frittata or something?
Okay, that's a great idea.
Yeah.
That's a great idea.
Or I don't think I've ever had, I always hear about like lemon blueberry pancakes or lemon ricotta.
That sounds great. That sounds
Yeah.
great. Absolutely.
Breakfast is
sounds-
my favorite meal.
Yeah.
Me
Right.
too.
Mine too. I do love breakfast and I don't always, sometimes we have breakfast for dinner because, you know, it's just not always, you always have the time to enjoy it like you would like. So I always look forward to that.
Good.
Thank you so much, everybody. I had a great time. I hope you did too.
Thank you. We did.
Thank you very much.
Welcome. You're welcome. Enjoy your
Thanks,
day. Enjoy your
Vaso.
dinner.
Thank you.
What did you say, Deb? Oh, bye.
I said thanks, Vaso.
Oh, no, thank you
Yes,
for
thanks,
joining.
Vaso. Yeah.
It was a great time. Thank you, everybody.
All right. Have a great day.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.